Hi. I got a message today on Facebook from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that asked me to call them. I'd contacted them with the information I have concerning the tunnel to this house, the underground facility, which I was told is a half block from this home, and the various reasons that I suspect that human trafficking, child sex trafficking, is involved with the tunnel's underground facility, the capital attempted murder of my life, possibly the murder of the last homeowner of this house. Anyway, I'm gonna call this group and as they asked, and I'm gonna film it, and I'm not gonna tell them that, and I'll probably post it when it's done. And so here we go.
Thank you for calling. Are you or someone in your household 50 years or older? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. You have qualified for a free medical alert system for you or a loved one. When participating in our monitoring program, you...
Wrong number. Okay, let's try it again. 843 5 6 7 8. Well, I wasted some of my
You have
time.
reached the National Center for Missing and
There we
Exploited
go.
Children. This line is being recorded. Para información en español,
mine.
apreta 5 ahora. If you are calling to report your child missing or the sighting of a missing child, press 1 now. If you are calling to report child pornography, online enticement of children for sexual acts, child sex trafficking, or child sex tourism, press 2 now. If you are calling to request publications, press 3 now. If you are calling for any other reason, press 4 now. This is Jacob. How can I help you?
Hi, Jacob. Hey, this is Buddy Webb here in Midland, Texas, and I got a message off of Facebook to call your number.
Okay. What is it regarding?
Oh, basically, probably some tips that I left, some videos and some stories. I suspect that there's human trafficking going on here, and I have a lot of evidence that seems to point to that possibility, and also evidence of some very significant crimes as well as public corruption.
Okay. We can take reports for sexual exploitation of children, but that's all we would be able to take a report for here.
Okay, well, like I said, I mean, I think it's all together, and but they asked me to call, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay. All right. And you're looking to make a report with us, or have you done that already?
Once again, and I sent a video that I made called "Missing Persons and Midland Tunnels," and then I told a few stories. I've got other evidence. I've got some pictures, and then I was asked to call this number, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay. All right.
Let me tell you my story, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I bought a home in Midland, Texas. I was transferred here to Midland, Texas in 2008, and then a couple weeks before I buy this home, the previous homeowner dies. I never met him. I didn't think nothing about it. I'm living here a couple years, and I figure out that somebody is breaking into my home while I'm not here, and I was single and I worked all the time, and called the police. We found a door that had been left open on their quick exit. And so that was in 2010 on my first call to the police. Over the next 14 months, I changed all the locks out on this house. I screwed windows together, cut trees back, installed some security lights, put up a few cameras, and I was setting traps to see if people were still breaking into my house, like putting a little rock on a doorknob, or putting a matchstick between the door jamb and door. Anyway, you can figure out if people's coming in your house, and I was doing that. And so they were repeatedly getting in this house, and I couldn't stop them, but they wasn't taking anything obvious. Directly behind my home is a truck unloading lane of a big box store. Okay, it's a rock store away. At the same time, I am seeing these trucks pull up 24/7 18-wheelers, stay a little bit, and then leave, and they never unload any legal freight. I've got pictures of it, and this is happening when the store's open, when the store ain't open, and it's very secluded. Nobody can see back there. Then I had 2 store employees tell me about prostitution going on behind their store, which is behind my house. And I saw a little girl at the sleeper cab of a 18-wheeler one day. So I'm suspecting child sex trafficking. And I'm connecting it to the repeated break-ins of my home. And anyways, around 2012, I was married for a short amount of time, for like 3 months. And this woman, who is alleged to be involved in the shooting, first suggested, "Do you think they're coming from the ground?" And I had never thought of that. I mean, I literally never thought of somebody coming here putting a tunnel. But the more I thought about it, the more sense it made, because there's that truck unloading lane that is, 50 foot, 100 foot away from here, and I'm seeing all that traffic. And so I call and I reported a suspected tunnel to the El Paso DEA and then to the Midland DA, and this is in January 2012. They never come to my home and look, and about 2 weeks later, I am shot inside my home from ground floor level. A person under my house in a tunnel shot me, okay? And when I had burglar alarms going off the time, when I fall to the ground, I find my phone is disconnected. So they tried to kill me in my house. I crawled out to save my life. My security cameras took a picture of it. This picture's on Facebook. And I'm in the hospital for 8 days. I have a partial amputation. It ended my career. 28-year career is over. I'm now disabled. And then I get out of the hospital and I find out these police here, these local police, are calling me crazy and saying I shot myself. And so I go back to the cameras that I had, and what I find is 19 minutes after I crawled out, 2 police arrive at my house wearing tan uniforms, and another 20 minutes they had my cameras disconnected on my house. And my attorney subpoenaed the police record. No police were dispatched to or at my house. The next day, a few hours later, a group of still secret police are caught in my house on camera. I have proof of this, and it's on Facebook. And once again, there is no police report. There's no record, and nobody knows who they are, okay? And they're in my house. They're searching drawers, stealing evidence, and staging the crime scene of this capital murder attempt, okay? Which I think is connected to human trafficking, child sex trafficking. Well, this is in 2012, okay? In spite of irrefutable evidence, and I can't get a local, state, and national news agency to report this story. And I also, I can't even get an alternative. I can't get Nancy Grace, Alex Jones. I can't get nobody to tell this story. And I have pictures. I've contacted the mayor, I've contacted the city council, I've contacted the chief of police, contacted the last governor, Rick Perry, which ran for president, sent him the pictures. The current governor, Greg Abbott, sent him the pictures. And nobody can identify these secret police that were in my house covering up this murder attempt, or nobody will. I think that's a better question. And so I have recently put out a $2,000 reward for information just to identify these corrupt police. 3 of them, we pretty well know who they are. One of them is believed that went on to murder his wife and then kill himself in 2014. And so we believe that one of the ones that was secret police in my house goes on, or I believe, went on to murder a young mother and orphan 2 children. And of course, that's my story, but what it's tied back into is I believe, into a child sex trafficking ring. One other interesting side about this is I spoke with U.S. Congressman Mike Conaway. He called and invited me to a town hall meeting, and so I told this story about calling the DEA and then getting shot in my house in a town hall meeting for Mike Conaway, and then I went and met his staff and I sent them all the evidence, which is undeniable, irrefutable proof, and he sent me a letter and suggested I go to the Inspector General, the U.S. Inspector General, because there's obvious problems with our FBI and our DEA, corruption problems. And so I did. I contacted the Inspector General. Now I've called them and emailed them over 10 times and they won't call me back. And then later I find out that that the brother-in-law of U.S. Congressman Mike Conaway used to live across from this home that I live in, that at some time in the past was rigged with this underground access. So anyway, that's really my story. Some of the things that I think you'll find interesting for missing children. Are you familiar with Haley Dunn?
No, I'm not.
She is the most famous missing child of the century. Okay, she's a 13-year-old Colorado City, Texas cheerleader that went missing, I think, in 2010. Okay.